Hey friends, I can hardly believe we're in our last week of class. It just seems crazy that this class has gone by this fast and that summer is just moving on through. A reminder that both Module 7 and 8 are due on Sunday. Make sure you plan this week to have it finished. Your grades are due the following Thursday or Wednesday, so you can check before the 4th of July. As I was preparing this week's material, I was reminded of a story of one of my own kids. One of my sons was exceptionally bright, especially at math, but athletics were not his strength. In his 6th grade year, he thought he was going to try out for soccer, so he did that. He had a teammate who had autism who was very different than Tom. He struggled with a lot of just classic autism behaviors, perseverating on words and labels. Every time my son was learning to dribble, then this guy would say, "Way to go, Einstein. Way to go, genius. Way to go, Einstein. Way to go, genius." Well, Tom grew frustrated, picked up the ball, and hit him in the back with it. And then not only that, he kind of, he was crying, and so Tom picked it up and hit him with it again. And I heard that night from the principal who said, "I'd like you to come in the morning and we can have a conversation about this." So as a special educator, you can imagine how I felt about my son who was picking on a child with autism. So anyway, got there and that mom was a saint, and the principal said, "Tom was created with a brain that is perfectly suited to mathematics. He is exceptionally bright, and God is going to use that bright mind for his glory." And then he said, "And Matt, he was created by God to reflect God's beauty in lots of different ways, even the way that he perseverates on words and labels, and the experience that you have with him is also a reflection of God's beauty and God's design." I've never forgotten that conversation. It really captured something profound about education and about humanity, and every child is created different and unique, and every child really reflects the image of God. As we finish modules 8 and 7, I hope that you'll see that these topics really do point us towards the full spectrum of God's creative work in humanity: family systems, cultural differences, giftedness in Module 7, disabilities, learning styles, social development. We are all looking at God's image and how he's reflected in the people that he created. Thanks for engaging so thoughtfully with these subjects throughout the course. Your discussions, your reflections, your willingness to consider perspectives different than your own has been very great. It's made it a rich experience for all of us. Module 7, read Chapter 18, participate in the discussion, complete the Keys to Me activity, the activity on gifted children, revisit and complete the cultural questionnaire. It's the same one that you did before, and you're doing it just with a different lens now that the class is nearing its conclusion. Module 8 is reflected on bringing everything together as we complete the class. Most importantly, that major paper that you've been working on throughout the term is due on Sunday. Be sure to review the requirements. You've received a lot of APA suggestions. Many of you have throughout the course. Put those into effect for this class. If you need help, the DeWitt Library has a great learning guide I've posted before in the announcements, and also OWL Purdue is a great place to look. Thanks for your hard work this term. I've enjoyed learning alongside with you. Looking forward to reading your final submissions. Thanks. Have a great week.